Hello everybody and welcome to week 4, our last game for week 4. This is between the Knights and NA Rams. And here we have casting with us tonight. This is Zanric and RIPDusty. Welcome casters and welcome teams.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Thanks for introductions. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing fine myself. Waiting on the pick band to begin here. My understanding is we have several substitutes this evening. Janwar, can you give us a little more details on that?
Yes, I failed to be the ADC for tonight. Here I am as the caster streamer person. So we have on the Knights, we have mid lane Yogurt on floor and DrMcWeenBean subbing for mid and bot lane respectively. And I believe those are our only subs for tonight, still as of this moment.
Doctor in the mid or bot, that's quite the surprise. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked here if they decided to put Quinstone as ADC instead and then put the Doctor in the top lane.
I did make one classic blunder. There is one more sub on NA Rams, topside SweetSmellofSucc, my Sweet Yo Plays teammate. So we have 3 subs in total.
And who are they replacing?
They are replacing Blue Banana's Bappy. I don't believe he's been able to play a game to date, but various epic subs have been able to replace him.
No, understandable. Is there a search for a long-term sub that we can put out into the ether, or are they just hoping that his schedule will work out eventually?
Great question. I don't know. Have to take that up with the NA Rams captain.
No.
We'll have to bring it up after game.
Yep. Let's hope for their sake, though, that they get somebody stable on their team, even if Blue Bananas isn't there. That hopefully Blue Bananas is in good spot, doesn't have any troubles going on, and can hopefully watch his team later on the VOD and see his team doing well, cheering him on from the sideline.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for this match because this seems like the 2 Titans facing each other. Or 2 of the 3, I should say, are facing each other. Seems like it go either way. I would say very highly anticipated game. Unfortunately, with the amount of subs, not going to see potential. Oh, we're right in it.
Yep. Yeah. Pick ban is
Right
starting. The Knights taking us right out the gate with Jarvan. They don't want to see none of it. I believe that's something that RIPDusty has been playing on and off. Gonna need some confirmation there, but it seems like that's the case.
Yep. Urgot,
yep, anticipating that the Doctor may in fact be going into the top lane. And then the Auction. I'm actually not as sure about the Auction. I wasn't aware too many people were playing him avidly. But
the merchant
strong.
himself.
Oh, it's terrifying. You don't want
the
to
merchant.
see that Samira, Jhin, or Auction in the bot lane if you can avoid it.
Yep.
How could I forget the Urchin Merchant himself?
Syndragon now. And that's a Yogurt denial. Definitely one of Yogurt's favorite champs to play. Has some pretty good skins. Likes playing it all the time. Looks like another jungle hover for the ban. Probably going to be Olaf. Yep. Locked in Olaf. So this is heavily targeted towards RIPDusty. And a little bit on Merchant. And then from NA Rams, it seems like they're just trying to get mainly the real favorite picks. Tom Kench. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. The Tom is gone. I'm curious to see what NA Rams put in the bot lane as their ADC. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it were something like a Jhin. It's the pretty common pick for Urchin. One of his most played ADCs.
Vigar picked right up. I would not be surprised if this goes bot lane, to be honest. Like
bot lane Vigar. Bold.
Yeah. I would not be surprised. It could happen. Although I'm not super familiar with how Yogurt likes playing the champ, especially in a blind pick. So I'm just thinking it's probably gonna go bot lane. Like if I had to guess.
Really?
Nami picked up. Not a surprise.
Yeah.
Ari likes the champ.
Yeah, and then the question becomes, do they grab the Lucian for the burst damage synergy in lane, or do they go with something a little bit more comfortable?
Knowing Urchin, I'm thinking they might go Jin with this because you can throw the bubble down, throw the Jin W, get the root off of it, and there's a lot of damage that can come out of that in a quick little burst, and then you can just back off. Oh, Echo. Where is this going? Is this a secret pocket pick in jungle for RIPDusty?
Certainly not something I would have expected to see, but I'm excited for it.
Yep. Yes, confirmed baited, as Fledwis has said in chat. We were both.
Confirmed baited. What is that going to be, an Echo mid? It's possible.
Yep.
I mean, it's totally viable. But with ADC still on the board for the NA Rams, they do need to be looking for some kind of tank. Right now, like, yeah, sure, Echo fights at the front line, but he is not the front line.
So it looks like Mumu and Ashe picked up. Good CC coming out of the Knights. Got Vigar, a lot out of Mumu. Got slows and a good catch out tool with Ashe. So
do you think that's an Amumu support?
It could be. It's a very flexible pick right now. The Mumu is the highest played support right now with the highest win rate. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. And Trundle picked up. Not a surprise. Is one of RIPDusty's signature picks. So this Echo, probably mid.
Yep.
But with Echo picks, can go a lot of different roles. So could go top potentially.
Yeah, I think if the Knights pick a bruiser and a tank here, that will be a nice way to round out the comp. I'm not sure if that's what they're going to want to do. I know if the Doctor's going top lane, that's definitely a free brute, like a Juggernaut they'll have on the comp. So that'll give damage and tankiness. But I think if the Amumu isn't the support, it needs to be a tank support. Well, I mean, whatever the other pick is should probably be a tank.
Yep. And it looks like Darius removed by NA Rams and then Twitch removed by the Knights. I think very good picks to pull away from the other team. Darius, good on both Quinstone and DrMcWeenBean. And the Twitch, obviously, a very scary late game, regardless of whether it's picked in support or in ADC. And likely, it's going to go ADC. But looks like Thresh taken away. Now I'm confused of how the Knights are actually going to pick with what they want to do. Because I think NA Rams are also in the same boat where they maybe don't know where everybody's going on the other team.
Yeah. I'm actually curious about the Darius ban from the NA Rams. I feel like Mordekaiser and Jax would have both been better bans because both DrMcWeenBean and Quinstone play them to great effect. So you cover both bases there. The Darius, I didn't think Quinstone played too much of that. And while Doc can play it, I didn't think it's one of his favorites. So, I don't know. It's an interesting one to see. Yeah, and there we go. There's the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I'm also a little confused on the Nasus ban from the Knights, but it kind of played their card of what they wanted to do because I think Quinstone is confirmed playing top with the Nasus ban because Doc, that's one of his picks. So, I think Doc's ADC here, and then Elemental Lux is going to pick up the Lux. Papa bless.
Yeah, I think though with the Ashe there, it's probably Quinstone bot. I didn't think that's one the Doc likes to play at all, and I don't think they're shuffling it up that much if they can help it. They maybe just got rid of the Nasus because they knew that they wanted to grab the Mordekaiser here, and they didn't want to lane into that.
Well, the thing is, though, your picks. You got Vigar, you got a Mumu, and Lux and Mord. You already got a lot of AP. Having a Nasus that just builds a good bit of tank, tiny bit of damage, and just let them sit in their own lane for a while, I think that would be a good ticking time bomb for their team.
Sure, but you have to keep in mind also that the Nasus is pretty easily kited out.
Yep.
And You don't really
With
want
Quinn.
to deal with that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. The other element also with the magic damage, there's really no such thing as too much magic damage on your team.
True.
Magic resist itemization is so bad in this game right now. Like, it's in such an unhealthy place that you could have a full AP team and you wouldn't really lose that much.
Yep. And one thing that we missed was just not really here was asking that they thought that NA didn't want the Knights to ban Kench, yet NA Rams banned it. So what gives with that? Do you know what's going on there? Because I don't know what the Tom Kench deal is with their team. Like, the SweetSmellofSucc like playing it?
No, the doctor likes Tom Kench top. He's been practicing it a lot, but he hasn't had a chance to play it at all yet.
Okay.
The elite warrior.
On bench. Not today. But yeah, I do think it is Doc top. And then Quinstone in the ADC position. So I think we are going to see that. And pretty much typical roles for everyone else on that side. And then NA Rams, it appears like they're probably going to have very typical roles. So, no one really getting swapped around.
Is this us having the Elemental Lux on Elementalist Lux? Is it going to happen?
Let's hope. If not, he will be forever flamed for the rest of his life. Yep. We'll be on his gravestone. Why pick Elemental Lux? Elemental Lux. All right.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about the NA Rams pick here. Gonna be totally honest with you. The only real CC they have, like Echo has a little bit, right? But what you care about is that Nami ult. And you have the tiny Trundle pillar. But it's nothing compared to the Vygar cage, the Ashe ult. Like, every single member of the Knights has some serious CC for the team fight. And they're not lacking damage. Whereas the NA Rams, if I were them, I would be wishing that I had more CC right now. I think they're going to need to play for, like, at the very least, a 1-4 with Quinn, because she isn't going to offer that much to their team fight. She'll just get blown up. So at least a 1-4, maybe a 1-3, depending on how they're doing by the time they hit the mid game.
Well, and also what's rough is, like, do you split the Echo off or not? Because Echo does have the ability to make the whole team comp do a 1-3-1 or stick with your team, just because of, Echo's all the slipperiness in general that Echo has. So, I guess it depends on, like, every game, how laning goes, how people communicate roaming out of their lane and everything. But I do agree from a team comp standpoint, NA Rams, I feel like the straight up fight, like if they do like a 4-on-4 fight, which is kind of what we're anticipating, having somebody split off like Quinn and then somebody matching Quinn, I feel like it's going to be a rough game, just because what are you going to do about your actual front line? You have Trundle. That's it.
I am a little curious about the Quinn pick, actually, because when I go into the good old counter stats, it looks like Mordekaiser just wins out. Like, like there's a 51% chance that Quinn gets like a champion kill, like just, or more champion kills overall throughout the game.
Yep.
But like over the course of the game, it's looking like Mordekaiser just is the better pick of the two. Like, he'll just do better on average. Now, no accounting for skill between players, but as we all know, the doctor is sick with the toy, as some of us would say. And it's not going to be an easy lane for Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, at least early, probably pre-level 2, before most mana is spent from Quinn, I think it's going to be a lot of bullying. But I think once the mana gets drained and more, not having that issue, starts being able to get the E pull back and get a Q in there and heal from the W, I think it's going to be a much different lane. Like mana, I think mana management is going to be like the big thing in top lane early, and then late game it's just, can you press R on the Quinn if Quinn goes in on you as Mord, and Quinn's going to be, can I kite you the whole time and make sure you can't see me while I'm in your ult.
Well, I think the tech with the Mordekaiser is, once you know the Quinn's going to jump off of you, she doesn't jump away far enough to be out of range of your pull. So you can just walk up and start beating on her reasonably well, right? Like, it's not going to be easier for you to get on her. But if she ever wants to fight you, it's going to be hard for her to decide that she doesn't want to fight you anymore.
Yeah, the only thing is, and we'll see what happens, guarantee that maybe not in this game, but if this game would get played over and over, somebody's gonna, like, Quinn's gonna jump onto Mord, and Mord's gonna press R right when Quinn does her E to jump back, and it's gonna cancel Mord ult. I guarantee that would happen.
Is that how that works?
That is how that works, because you stun him. So if you catch him in the animation of Zorping you into the Death Realm,
is it channeled?
Yeah, it's slight channel. It's not very long, but it's a slight channel. And if you press R and somebody stuns you in between you putting them in there and you starting the animation, it burns your ult. Like, you just don't get it anymore.
I think that's on the Mordekaiser to screw up, though, right?
Yes.
Because he would have to press the ult button after Quinn has already cast the jump.
Yep.
Because there's no way as Quinn to react fast enough. Like, even if you were tassing, right? You were running scripts. I think the channel time isn't quite long enough for that to go off successfully.
Yeah. And part of the thing that makes it difficult, too, is that Quinn has the ability to slow you when Quinn uses her E. And it gives you an adequate enough distance away that if, you don't land your E for some reason as Mord to pull her back, there's just no hope of you putting her in the Death Realm.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of skill in the matchup.
Yeah, it's like very reactionary how it's going to go, like who does the right play on the tree of options at the given time and lane, especially.
Who knows their flowchart better?
Yep. But forget about top lane. We've talked enough about top lane. What about this bot lane? What do you think's going to happen? Because I think level 6, you step too far against Ash, Quinstone's gonna press R. He just is. So, positioning with the Nami, especially because Nami doesn't get a lot of HP, gotta be spot on level 6, like post 6. Can't be accidentally like going to hit W on an enemy champ because you're just gonna walk up into an ult.
Absolutely right. And the Ashe will need to get the ult off on the Nami for that level 6 engage. If she decides to pick the Ezreal instead, Nami will just follow up with an ult, like, to match. And, like, yeah, sure, you're trading ult for ult, but you're not going to get that kill that you were looking for.
Yep. And the mid lane matchups, interesting too. Veigar into Echo. Like, Echo's whole thing is go on you, and Veigar's whole thing is get stuck in my cage. Like, I think that's going to be another skill matchup. Like, who catches who off guard.
The important thing to remember as well is that Mordekaiser's going to actually matter a lot for these team fights, more than the Quinn is.
Yep.
And we know he's going to be taking teleport.
Yep.
And so the Knights have a much stronger 1-4 game than the NA Rams do. So it's going to be really important that they get some good early ganks, that they snowball some lanes early, and they just take an early lead.
Yep. I'm just anticipating jungle presence in the side of NA Rams to be very strong against the Knights, because once you close the gap as Trundle, there's not much getting away besides burning flash or landing stuns. Like, if you miss your skill shot, he's running at you. He's got you.
Absolutely. And The Trundle also just straight up wins in the matchup against Mordekaiser if he ganks the lane and Mordekaiser ults him, because you put the pillar in the middle and you just play Ring Around the Rosie.
Yep.
The question I have for you, though, is which of these lanes do you think is going to be the closest skill matchup?
You mean by, like, player to player?
I mean more which lane is most skill dependent.
I honestly think that it's... I would have to say it's probably bot lane or top. Just because of having both sides needing to be able to do something, especially like skill shot wise on bot. It's like I think both sides have a lot of skill shots, not Ashe really until 6, but the Lux to do anything to not screw up your wave needs to not just throw the E on the enemy wave. And same thing with Nami. You don't want to just like throw out your bubble into the wave. And also, it's a lot of spacing on both sides. But, top's also kind of the same thing. Like, you miss space against Mordekaiser, it's going to beat you down, but you don't give Quinn respect in top lane at all. And they'll just run at you and kill you.
Yeah. My concern in the bot lane is that the Ashe and the Lux could get poked down too much by the Ezreal and the Nami. And yeah, they'll trade back a little bit with poke, but Nami's got the heal. So it's easier to use a heal after you get damaged than it is to use the Lux shield before you get damaged. So if there's too much attrition, that's going to make any kind of level 6 engage super difficult to pull off.
I still think mid lane's going to be interesting to watch, though, just because of the dynamic of the two champs.
Oh, yeah. I've got no clue what really to expect there. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, oh, yeah, Vygar's ranged. He'll just be able to farm back from a distance and push the lane at the same time.
Yep.
Who's got that gap close?
Well, and I'm pretty sure the way Echo works is if you time it right with your ult, you can cancel Vygar's ult's damage if you catch it when you're zipping back in time. Like, if it would hit you while you're zorping back.
I think that's accurate. I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
So there is, there's some like timing and stuff in pretty much all the lanes actually, because, Amumu and Trundle's kind of the same thing. Like, if Trundle gets the pillar right at the right time, I'm pretty sure you can make Amumu not go to you if you do it like right at the right moment, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
that's true.
So
Amumu's susceptible to interrupt.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like very specific timings from both teams that I think are going to be like really critical in these games.
Yeah, so, fortunately for the Echo, I don't think that the ulting in response to Vygar ult is too unbelievable of an ask. Mainly because that Vygar ult has such a slow movement time, right? You see it coming.
All right, well, I am up. Loaded in. Ready to rip, as they say.
What's the scanner say about the
pressing that plus button?
Yep.
Thought so. I've got nothing.
Alrighty, well,
let's go.
Got the question, invade or nah? I actually, on the side of NA Rams, would like the invade, but I don't think that's necessarily their style.
For the NA Rams?
Yeah.
No way, man. If I were the Knights with the Amumu, I'm in. 100%. I'm invading.
Well, that's the thing. People don't have a lot of movement speed, level 1. Nami Bubble could hit 3 people. And then Echo could hit like 3 people with the Q. And then Ezreal could easily auto Q, wait a half second, get another auto in, and then Trundle Pillar. Like, there's a lot of like narrow, like CC, we're going to funnel you into this and you're going to take a lot of damage.
I guess. When I look at the invade possibilities, I just think that everything that the NA Rams have to offer on an invade, the Knights just have, but better. Like, look at that Ashe volley. anything in Lux's kit that's going to take level 1, right? So like Q or E. Like both of them are going to do the job. Vigar Cage, if he decided to start that, I don't think he would because it would screw up his lane. But if he really needed to, it's there.
I think he would just take W.
Anything for Mordekaiser, actually.
Like, just wait. If you see the opportunity of a bunch of people stunned, just take the W. But looks like nothing really happened. Just, people saying hello more than anything. Feeling out what's going to go on.
Yeah,
Not
the
too
farm
much
game is on.
Yep. Classic early game. Get CS and poke your opposing lane. And yep.
Elemental Lux needs to try and stay in a range where they can follow up the spells with an auto attack, because that's about half your damage every time you go to harass.
Yep.
It can be a bit of an ask sometimes. Like, you don't want to get traded back too hard, but it is a nice amount of damage to have available.
And top lane kind of going how I expected a little bit early. Although SweetSmellofSucc logged in as Misfortune Bot has been doing really good with not wasting a lot of mana, actually using none, and just getting a CS lead, although Wave is pushing in. So, there's the interaction I was expecting from mid lane. Echo goes in, Vigar goes, well, you're in here now. Have fun.
Yeah. The counter jungle from the Trundle, though, getting the blue buff.
That's big.
Yeah.
On Amumu especially. Like, Amumu's very spell dependent early game for clearing waves.
Yeah, but it looks like maybe Amumu is going to come into the mid lane. No, he's just going to go for bot scuttle. Wow, that's such a huge setback for Amumu.
Yep.
At least it's not next patch. Next patch, they're increasing the mana cost at all ranks of the Q, which isn't super important for your clear, but it does matter if you were kind of cutting it close for a gank.
Which RIPDusty looks like they were pinging the ward and potentially wolves and saying, hey, they're not here. So, probably they're somewhere else. Maybe they cleared a funky way. Who knows? But good on Vigar getting a ward, actually, there in the river, because that is a gank path. Even though mid lane is pushed up, it's better to be safe than sorry and put vision on that side, knowing that the jungler's probably that way.
To play devil's advocate for it, though, you already know where the jungler is. You know it's getting pushed into you. Maybe you save the ward and then put it up a little bit later when you're not as sure when the jungler's going to be there.
Yep. Guess it all depends on how afraid you are of getting comboed in. But
with a Trundle as a Vigar, I don't think you're too worried, right? Because as long as you keep the cage up, you're pretty safe.
Yep.
Man, Amumu coming in the top for a gank, though. Let's see what he can pull off.
Oh, there's the camera.
Q, that's first Q hit. Remember, he's got 2 Qs in the kit. All right, where is it? Nope. That's going to be flashed burn from Quinn. Allows her to get away. But also a flash from the Mordekaiser going for greed. I appreciate it if it worked out with him. For him, he would be in a really great spot. But not having the flash available for the Quinn is actually a big deal for top lane. I think that she needs it a little bit more than the Mordekaiser in this lane.
Yeah. As of right now, at least, when, everybody's kind of static in their lanes, there's not a lot Quinn can do if Quinn can't duel the Mordekaiser. You kind of just have to sit there and hope the Mord pushes the wave into you, gives you some CS. Otherwise, you're kind of just like, I'll take your Krugs, off cooldown. Sorry, RIPDusty.
Yeah. RIPDusty, though, has been picking up a ton of farm in the jungle. He's up 10 farm already. If I check gold overall, he's up about 200, which isn't crazy. But the more important part was getting that blue buff, slowing down the Amumu clear time, or more accurately, making him go back into base sooner, and also decreasing the amount of XP he got, because, as we all know, blue buff is a nice chunk.
Yep. And one big thing to also mention is that RIPDusty has that money, but also spent. And that's big. Oh, RIPDusty sitting on a ward, none the wiser. But not
Sneaky,
really the
sneaky.
best gank. Maybe good for counter, but you know the wave's pushing up. Not much you can do. Because they're just going to wait for the lane to get pushed in. Oh, not paying attention. Yep, that is a flash.
Oh, good damage coming out from Lux. Nami's now below half health. Big fight top side. Mordekaiser ulting the Quinn, and that's going to be a dead Quinn.
Yep.
Very nice there. Now, keep in mind his teleport is up, so if he does decide to back, he could come bot side for this dragon. That's an option that's totally on the table. Yogurt in a really tough spot, though.
Yep.
Getting caught out. Probably not going to
down.
survive this. Yeah,
Yep.
dead. Maybe could have got away if he used flash. Oh, Elemental Lux. Misclick.
Going in.
Accidentally flashes into the team. Taking a ton of damage there. All right, 2 kills going the side of NA Rams. That will likely be first drag to them as well, provided no one is able to steal, and it doesn't look like anyone's even going to make the attempt, which makes sense. There's farm to get. Better to do that.
Yeah, your jungler's not there to really make a miracle steal, and it's not worth it at this stage in the game. You're just giving them a bigger lead at this point. That's not really worth it. So, wise of everybody to kind of back up, you know, after losing a few people, not worry about it, go back to farming. Got some waves in top that are coming into Mordekaiser, can freeze it if they want. And Echo, not really. Yep, just getting some deep vision on blue. They're going to go for the crab.
And probably they're going to be looking to invade and take that blue buff again.
Yep.
Man, this poor mummy. That is going to be a sad mummy. Many tears to be shed. Not as many as he could shed if he got his blue buff, but definitely not a good time.
Speaking of sad mummy, we got... Oh, never mind. Not much happening, never mind. Oh, Quinn getting collapsed on. This is bad news bears for the Quinn.
Ruh-roh.
Almost dead. Flashes are not up. Arrow just wide. Gets the bonk. Echo's gonna get out. Not too much crazy happening. Did use a Mumu ult there.
And that is now around, what is it, 750 gold lead in favor of Mordekaiser, top lane. That's pretty big.
Yep.
The doctor knows how to snowball a lane, and if Quinn doesn't watch out, it's going to be big trouble. I think her best bet is to try and clear waves as fast as she can, and then start running around hoping the Trundle invade.
Yep. Well, and look at the items Mord has. Mord's like, I'm not letting you into this game. You don't get the...
Oh, yeah, she's never going to be able to fight
Like-
him. But keep in mind that that's a lot of armor that Trundle's going to be able to snatch up. Fortunately
Very
for
true.
the Knights, they do have a ton of magic damage, and Mord hasn't built a lick of it. He hasn't built a lick of MR. So that doesn't help the Trundle there. But it's not going to be a nice situation for the Ashe, because that Trundle is just going to be so tanky.
Well, it looks like Amumu got blue, which is very nice for Amumu, but it does feel bad that the first one was taken away, because that's such an important one for Amumu to get.
Yeah,
But-
he is behind almost 900 gold just off of the Trundle's 2 kills by Dragon and the extra invading.
Yep, and Amumu's going to kind of have to play reactionary here because of that. There's not much Amumu's going to be able to do to duel. Even if Amumu was slightly ahead, I don't think Trundle Amumu really works out in the Amumu's favor on a one-on-one. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a big vision game now to make sure you're not invaded the entire time and having your team help you when it does happen.
Yeah, the jungle play is so much more critical now that neither of the supports are roam heavy supports.
Yep.
So if anyone's going to be making a play in lanes, it's going to be the 2 junglers. Speaking of which, gank in the mid lane does not result in a kill, but does get some nice damage on the Vigar. If it's played out right, I Love Lucy could do a dive, though I think they're a little too low on mana for that. They would need to save up quite a bit.
Yep.
And at the amount they're sitting on, they're probably going to look for a back here soon, because they're just too vulnerable as is.
Oh, and the big bug dropped in L top lane. Just trying to get some gold, it seems.
Yep, that's 2 free plates, which is nice. It is very important to drop that before the 14-minute mark, because it does true damage to towers, and the more plates you crack in succession, the tankier the tower gets temporarily. So getting that extra gold, getting that extra damage on tower early, very, very valuable.
It is unfortunate, though, that it was placed to do the first bits of damage to the tower, so now the tower is very tanky, and you're essentially pulling money away from the Mordekaiser. But
well, keep in mind that that tankiness only stays for a little while, right?
Yep.
So if I go up and I click on this tower, and I check its passives, yeah, it's gone. Like, it's lost that tankiness now.
Okay.
It's the critical mistake that a lot of people make sometimes when they use it is they'll have like 3 people pushing a wave or pushing a lane, and they'll be wailing on it trying to get ticks, but they'll drop the rift too early. And what that'll end up doing is it will crack like 2, and if it's in the right position, maybe 3 plates with the charge, but then it will be so tanky that you can't actually do any more damage after that, any meaningful damage. Big trades in the top lane. Mordekaiser deciding it's time to ult. We're going to fight it out. Big bonk, lots of shields. Quinn hops off, and oh my goodness gracious, that's a big stick. Very close. Either one of them could die here in a bad trade. Ezreal ult coming up is not going to hit the Mordekaiser, but it is going to be very close. Red side having Prio decides to go for Dragon, but they are going to need to fight a 4v4. Big ult coming in from the Ashe, followed up by a Root, and a massive ult from Elemental Lux hitting 3 people all at once. Amumu used ult as well. Lots of CC. Great job. Needs to stick in the fight, though, to keep his teammates alive. They don't want to let the Dragon reset, but they also need to be on the same page with the rest of their teammates.
Yeah, and RIPDusty playing a very dangerous game that entire time, because there was and Quinstone getting picked out here potentially. Yep, goes down, TP, but a little bit late. Not gonna be able to do too much on this, I don't think.
Mordekaiser in a tough spot. Don't think he's gonna be able to fight it out there. 1v3, he is gonna have to walk away and back. He doesn't have too much to offer there. The Amumu was also just too low to be able to come back and enjoy the fight. They only have the amount of health they do right now because they smited a camp.
Yep. A lot happened all for a second Drake that's a win Drake.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like TP used that didn't really pan out to be too much. Especially when your wave is going to be pushing back into you. Like you could sit there and pressure Quinn. Hey, come break this freeze that I'm going to set up here. Like, you have to stay here with me.
Yeah, but you could also think of it this way. The Knights, while they did not get the first 2 drags, this gives them the opportunity to get up to 4 Infernal Drakes.
That is a lot. And it was either that or Earth Drakes, and Earth on their team would be real good. Or Mountain, I should say.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Any soul is great for them, like at all, really.
Yep.
But the Infernal lets Lux do way more damage with her ult and the rest of her kit. Viger will be able to blow anyone up if they actually get soul, which, you know, bit of an ask, because they don't have any drags yet. But if they get it, the reward is high.
Those Divine Sunder Ezreal Qs are really starting to hurt now. Like, those are a couple hundred damage, and they're only going to get stronger. So it's starting to get to the point now that Ezreal's going to do a lot of poke.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you have Ashe ult up and you're going to ult him, or unless Amumu comes down and CCs him. And even then, you really need to be able to follow that up with the full Lux kit, landing every single spell, weaving in the autos to get enough damage that he can't just jump away.
Good juke from SweetSmellofSucc. That was really good. Like, that is almost certainly half your HP bar guaranteed if Moore gets the EQ combo. At this point, at least.
Yeah, he's definitely sitting pretty up about 700 gold still. Mumu going in bot side, gets the ult, gets the Q, but no team there to help him out. Great CC, but the Knights bot lane says, hey, look, friends, we need the farm.
Yep.
That's gold too.
Oh, great stun from Echo here. Gonna Trundle Pillar maybe? Nope. Just enough. Oh, and Trundle dies. That was real good, saving the E on Vigar that long. Ashault comes up. Does a late little stun, you know. Just saying, hey, I'm here. Beware.
Yep. Another Mordekaiser ult top side. Him versus the Quinn. Shield used. One more bonk gets the kill. Boom, there it is.
Yep.
Good job for the doctor. That's my teammate. Giving him the stick.
Oh.
Amumu, unfortunately blocked by the sacrificial minion. Get down, Mr. President.
Yeah, see, these Ezreal Qs are insane right now. Like, they're ridiculously high damage. And that's like, without a W, they're doing like 300 damage now, probably.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, if you don't have Ashault, and if Lux doesn't land the Q, you don't win the fight against Ezreal in this lane. You just don't have the CC, you don't have the damage, you don't have the ability to escape or go in. So those are like the two critical spells that are 100% necessary if you're going to win a trade in that lane.
One thing that is great to see from a spectator's point of view, the gold and how even it is right now. It is great to see that two of the Titan teams are here, 300 gold away from each other, 18 minutes into the game. You can't say that for every game.
You certainly cannot. Yeah, almost 20 minutes into the game and the gold difference being very, very minimal. Very impressive. Mordekaiser coming in. Nami definitely dies here. She doesn't stand a chance. The question is, does the Ezreal get away? He's already used his jump. Camera decides to take us into the mid lane to see who that dies. Amumu dies, and the Ezreal does in fact go down. Thank you, AutoCam. You're not gonna have 3 players from NA Rams going for Rift, while the Knights take bot tower. Good trades all around. That's still gonna put them close to even on gold, though there is a small lead in favor of the Knights. A lot of it just sitting right on that Mordekaiser, up 1,200 gold. So that is pretty big. The Amumu, despite the slow initial start, has caught up quite a bit. He's only behind like 350 gold, which not that big of a deal when you're 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah. And I had to caster curse it right away, you know. Gold's only 200-300 away, and it's not anymore. Oh, that was real close for the Drake. Mord got it, but that Ezreal was about as close as you can get to stealing it without taking it.
Yeah.
Second charge of the bug in top lane. That's going to be 2 towers down. That's actually really nice for Quinn. Kind of opens up the map a little bit on the top side.
Just like that, gold's even again.
Yep.
Really great game to watch. Close all across the map. The question will be, can the Ezreal or the Mordekaiser carry harder? Because those are the 2 big money champs on both teams.
And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Luci. Luci, last season, ADC player. Played Lucian, you know. He's playing Echo. Doing very well, actually. Keeping up in CS. Decent CS per minute.
Not a single death.
Yep. 5 assists, too. And an 8 kill on your side game. So, a part of a decent bit of kills. So, I would say outstanding performance so far by Luci.
Yeah. Tied for highest KP on both teams. So, great job there.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's hugging a mid lane from NA Rams while the Knights are spreading out, kind of dividing and conquering. 4 control wards. Oh, there's a big fight around the red. And that's it.
Yeah, Amumu does go down. I do want to take a moment to talk about Vision. Look at this Vision from NA Rams.
And
5 pinks. 5 pinks on the board right now. Everyone's doing their part. That's a team right there. That's teamwork.
Yeah, like mid, support, and jungle all have 20 plus vision score at 21 minutes. It's pretty good. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's very good. And that just shows you that vision is important, considering we were saying that, you know, Quinn's going to have a lot of trouble. Oh, looks like Ashe might be getting killed here.
Uh-oh.
The tides have turned.
Survivable.
Echo
Great
just gets
play
suppressed
by the Ashe. What a kill.
Great work. Echo's going to be able to get out now. There's no catching Echo, but very good ult from the Ashe initially. Good bait and switch going on with both teams. Man.
This just in. This just in. My brain is tuned in to the Knight's comms. What's that? What's that? Quinlan is screaming, "Fuck them! Fuck them! I'm just better! I'm better!"
Who would have thought that Quinstone himself would be talking about being better? And you know Doc's feeding him up on this.
Yeah. He's saying, "You're so good. You're the best. Get him, Dad."
You're just raw at the toy, you know.
You're raw with the toy. That's it. We're into the comms. We've hacked it.
Yep.
We know exactly what's happening. Right now, they're saying, "All right, Vigar, you're going to farm out that bot lane while we put our Ashe and Lux mid." Mord, you got to go top lane. You got to be able to make sure that doesn't push in. That's good money on the table for you.
Yep. And if I'm Echo, I couldn't see where the wave was, but I try to build a slow push here, considering... Let me see what the timers are, because I do not have objective timers on. What are they? Drake is coming up in a minute. That would be perfect timing to say you either get a lot of tower damage on your inhib tower, or... Oh,
that's a very
that's
a very useful Ashe ult coming in.
Yep, puts in Death Realm, needs to get out. Trundle going in, they get a kill out of it, and they should back up right now if they can. It looks like Amumu. Nope. Okay, Amumu doesn't take it. Bot lane kerfuffle going on, just some poking between Vigar and Quinn. But yeah, a lot just happened there. Good Ashe ult, good Mord ult. Just couldn't get the Trundle killed because that ult is just so good on Trundle against somebody that's building a lot of tank. Like, that's just a lot of free stats you get for pressing R. Uh-oh. Mord's in some trouble here.
Oh no! That's a lot of shutdown gold. Big AoE damage from the Amumu. Uses all good CC, but not enough damage to follow up. It's going to mean that Ashe is going to drop to 3 kills just like that, going the way of NA Rams. What once was a very, very close game, now widening to a 2k gold gap, and NA Rams are going to be on Soul Point unless Lux can steal it right here. No, she cannot. Did not have enough vision to be able to make the attempt to steal.
Yeah, and that's the key word right there, vision. Mord placed a ward on the ping. Just tickle in the sentences. I gotta clear it. I gotta clear it. They don't have vision of where 3 people are waiting right on the other side of that rock, right outside a river, ready to catch you out. Granted, Mord had backup, but trickling in. Lux almost getting a kill in the mid lane there on Lucy. Very close. Oh, Ashe arrow.
Oh,
not enough to kill. Wow. Should have built some AP just to get the kill.
Just barely double digits health, almost single digits.
Yep. Not even close, as they say.
Not even close, baby.
Yep.
You see that? There's the problem with AD Ashe. You see, if you build her full AP, get the Luden's Echo, that would have killed.
Yep. Forget all the other damage. That kill was the one that mattered. Yeah. The only one.
Hey man, with how many Ashe ults that have landed in this game,
that's some
AP
big damage.
Could be good. AP could be good.
Some Wit's End, Nashor's Tooth. Like, come on.
Technology. Imperial Mandate.
Blue Ashe.
The blue Ashe.
But yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of resetting right now. Moo getting a little, well, potentially, nope. Just gets the crab, gets to get out. Nothing too crazy happening. Everybody just picking up waves. More to head and bot, as they should. Gonna likely, yep. Big fight here. Mord does have ult, yep. Is used. Put in the death realm. Mord flashes forward. Good dodge on the Q, but it's not gonna be enough. Mord just wins those now. If you're Quinn, you see Mord running at you, you better be in your ult form, running away. Flying like a bird.
Yeah, at this point, Mordekaiser's just going to take every single fight chance he get against that Quinn. He's going to be able to keep split pushing bot side with impunity as all 4 members of NA Rams are going mid, looking to shove out the lane and maybe pressure a tower. Not sure if they're going to be able to get anything there, as you have a Vigar and a Lux to do the wave clear. The best thing here would be for the Knights to do a 1-4 split, keep on putting that Mordekaiser bot lane, have him keep split pushing. He's got the teleport. As long as you keep clearing your top and mid waves, eventually you'll have enough pressure to just go for Baron.
Yep, and right now it looks like Mord's gonna keep sitting bot, like Mord should. And to me, the big thing that could be a game changer, and I'm hoping this actually happens from the Quinn. I hope Quinn gets Bork next. It might be an odd pick because of the rest of the team. You know, there's not really somebody that tanky you're trying to get, but you kind of need it for the passive. Like, you want to triple poke Mord and hope that's enough in the Death Realm that you get enough speed to run away from Mord. Because that's the game right now for Quinn. Like,
yeah, I guess Bork works, and then, I don't know, heck, even throw in a Wit's End there just so you have a little magic resist. You can use your Kraken Slayer and the Bork on hits at the same time. Just with higher attack speed and more on hit.
Yep, and
that could work.
There's a bunch of wards just being burnt. Oh my goodness, that Ezreal. That is some damage.
The great ward wars of 28 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yep, a lot of CC going on to Trundle. Ezreal just going to go in there, likely kill Ashe for free. Potentially. Nope, Ezreal's going down. This team is letting him out to dry. Oh no. Not a good feeling.
He did a lot of damage on the Mordekaiser, though, before he died. Very impressive, considering his position. But that is yet more big shutdown gold, all going over to the ever-growing Mordekaiser.
Yep. And Flash needing to be burned, because I think you get kited by the Quinn there, and you don't get out. And Lux may be going down here. Doesn't have Pillar on Trundle, though. Uses Smite. Flashes in, gets the Q. What's for breakfast? Vigar trying to get in the fight, can't do much.
2 kills, 3 kills. Is this going to be 4? 4 kills. Almost.
Smited again. No smite for Drake.
So close. Ezreal, he's going to throw it down. Ezreal's going to throw down this ult. Here we go. We're going to see the Lux back.
Kobe.
Does it kill?
Kobe.
Does it kill? Hit.
Please.
I want to see it. Oh,
perfect.
So
timing.
Close. Oh. So close. But that is going to be Soul going down to the NA Rams. Infernal is a big deal for them, right? Yep. That means that Ezreal poke is going to hurt that much more. And you're running double ADC because you got the Quinn. So that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big Drake. Especially given that if you can get to the point where you get Elder and you have Quinn split, I think that is 100% the difference that Quinn needs to be able to split and kill Mord. Because it has been very close consistently. Like, there hasn't been more than a couple hundred HP. Oh
my gosh!
Good night.
That's over half health taken out with an Ezreal Q onto the Lux.
Yep.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Owies.
Oof, ow, my bones.
Oof, ow, my bones. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's really hard to be down in vision and to be a squishy support. Because it's your job to go out and get the vision, but if the rest of your team isn't there, you're probably going to get caught. I do that just about every game I play in Enchantress. I'll go out there trying to play for vision and just get picked. And it happens all the time. And if you don't take that risk, then your team's just going to continue to lose in vision. So it's really a no-win situation. You need to go with a teammate, maybe the Amumu, maybe the Mordekaiser, have them lead the way, and you just sweep and place wards.
Yep.
Ult from the Amumu spent. Echo uses ult. All right, now that everyone knows, Echo ult does keep him in the Death Realm, I guess.
That's a lot of damage coming out from Quinn for somebody that has been struggling most game, or most of this early game. Does go down though, but I think that's an important pickup for Quinn because your Ashe is down now on the other team. That's a lot of your sustained damage, and you got Ezreal there and Trundle.
And keep in mind, Mordekaiser and Amumu ults are down right now.
Yep. It's big. Like, even though they're 2 for 2 right now on the trades around the map, you lost your inhib for that. And they do still have Baron. And Elder is going to come up kind of soon. Like, these next couple bits of wave management and picks are going to dictate whether or not, people get Elder.
Yeah, I mean, Elder isn't up for another 3 minutes 30 seconds, so it's.
Well, I mean,
it's gonna matter.
Down mid though, like.
Yeah, well, the point is more. The point I'm making is more that like any wards you place right now are going to be gone by the time Elder gets up, even if they're not cleared. Like they'll just time out. So it is going to be really important to get the vision, because right now all their vision is on the top side jungle, and they probably want to migrate that all to the bot side jungle.
Good night.
But oh my gosh, that is so much damage coming out from the Ezreal.
Divine Blunder. Jeez. Should call it Divine Blender. Blending people's HP bars. TP out. Very good. I love it. The TP out, saving the Mordekaiser, knowing that Mord's going to die, needs to hit the panic button, gets it, leaves. And gets to keep Flash for that too, which is really nice.
Yeah, really, really good for him. What I'd like to see at this point is just throwing the Lux Ashe in a lane, keep clearing waves, put Viger on another lane clearing waves, probably put Viger on like the top lane, Lux Ashe in the middle lane, and just farm up.
Yep.
Because they need to be able to push out these waves if they want to contest Elder. Oh my gosh. Big fight top side. Not enough of the team is there. It's going to be a 5v3, 5v4? 4v4.
Jeez.
Too much damage coming out from the Ezreal and the Trundle, though. The Trundle does just get too tanky for anyone to kill him because the Mordekaiser is building a ton of armor.
Yep. And that's... Yep. I don't think there's anything really that the Knights can do. Yeah, it just wrapped up. Was very close early. Very good battles early. A lot of things going on the map. But, at the end of the day, it seemed like NA Rams, when they get that little sniff of blood, they're like Warwick. We go this way and we win.
Yeah, a little note to self. Ban Ezreal. I don't want to play against that. Whenever I play against the NA Rams, you better know that that's going to get banned. I'm not playing against that.
You can't ban that man out.
You cannot.
I can't ban him out, but my champs go in and Ezreal goes away. So I don't want to lay into that. I'll let him keep the Nami. Not the Ezreal. None of that.
Yep, which just talk a little bit about some numbers here. We got control words purchased. You're gonna love this one. RIPDusty, 15. 1-5.
15? Look at him go.
That is a lot.
Oh, one I didn't expect to see also. Like surprises on both sides. Ashe buying 9. That's highest on her team, which is not what you expect to see.
That's Quinstone though.
So yeah, contributing here to add vision to the team where it is needed. Overall vision score between Ashe and Lux, like Ashe almost matched in vision score. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. From an ADC who usually you get blue trinket and then your goal is just not to get picked. Like that's kind of your goal.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. 2 blue trinkets from the Knights, and like neither of them on the ADC. Where the NA Rams had 3 sweepers clearing all of the vision, which is why it was so dark for so much of the game for the Knights, is because you have your ADC with a yellow trinket. It's the only one that's going to stick there for any reasonable amount of time when you don't have control of the map. And then it's just Lux, because otherwise you're siphoning off so much money into pink wards that are just getting cleared because you don't have the priority to keep them alive.
Yeah, and even beyond the sweepers, you had 39 pink wards in total purchased by NA Rams. That's a lot. Like,
whew,
for a 34-minute game, like, that is a good bit from the team putting big effort into denying vision. And wards destroyed. RIPDusty 16, Ash, Quinstone getting 12. Like, the people who contributed the most to pinks got the most wards destroyed.
Yeah. Collectively on NA Rams spending 2,550 gold on pink wards.
Yep.
That's a full item.
At the end of the game, though, they were 10k up. It's worth it.
Yeah.
2k gold investment.
It pays off, right? Because how many of those fights did they win just because they had the vision?
Yep.
I would say over half of the fights that even happened that game were because the NA Rams had vision and the Knights just didn't. They didn't have knowledge of where the enemy was, so you end up getting picked off. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And that's why they ended up taking so many blue trinkets, is because they didn't want to get picked, which makes sense. It's just a really tough position to be in. You either have to commit to turtling up and trying to catch up and farm, or you need to group up and just say, we're going to take the fight.
Yep. And one crazy thing, just because of the way the waves were the entire time, even though Mord had a big kill and gold advantage, it just kind of tells you how much Quinn can still bully even from behind, that the turret damage total, Quinn was almost triple the amount of Mord.
Whew.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with the range even if you do get ahead, but with that said, it is rough trying to keep up with somebody that gets free move speed after 6. Like, they just are faster than you, so they can get the waves faster and get more damage to towers. It seems like Airy in the chat, one of the players, specifically the Nami player, has said, I was afraid to walk into jungle by myself to destroy wards. And that they said
as
they
you
were
should be. You're a fish. What are you doing outside of the river? It's the only body of water on the map. It's where fish belong.
and it's like they said they were disappointed in their vision numbers, but to be fair, RIPDusty was doing a lot of the vision control, and granted, 68 vision score, 34 minutes, it's nothing to shake a stick at. Like, don't be upset by that. I think the vision game on both sides was very good. Like, there was just, I think the timing on the side of NA Rams may have been better because they had more map presence whenever they were setting up for objectives, so they can kind of say, like, this is our area, we're going to be able to ward up to there a little more safely than the Knights, where they could have felt like, I get picked by anybody, they're just jumping on us. It, at least from my point of view, it felt like it was a lot of vision dominance back and forth, where NA Rams just got the timing.
Yeah, there were a lot of objectives lost just because there would be a scrap a little bit before the objective was up. And yeah, maybe the Knights would win the scrap and they would get like a kill or two, but the enemy would be coming up and the rest of the knights would be still very low on health whenever the objective was up. So you'd have like a 500 health Amumu without ult, not having time to back and like regain health and contest an objective just because of the previous scrap beforehand, which again just allows the NA Rams to net positive even when losing a scrap.
Yep. And with that being said, what do you think is the biggest thing that the Knights need to learn from this past game? That it was real close, but it kind of just slipped through their fingertips a few times, where those little cuts here and there end up hurting you beyond repair.
Yeah. So like the two big things that I think could be tweaked that would go a long way is remembering that vision is a team effort. Not just placing the pink wards, but when your support goes to ward, you need to be able to be around so that they're safe, right? Like Lux couldn't go out just warding the jungle because it wasn't safe. And when you get like super late into the game, it's just never going to be safe, and you're going to need to concede that you're not going to have that much vision that far out. You're going to have very defensive warding. But in the mid game, you need to support your support, so to speak, right? That vision matters. It's going to impact the macro calls you're going to make. It's going to impact the team fight choices you make. It's very important. And then the other thing is rotations to help protect your jungler. The Amumu was just getting counter jungled all day, and there was not a whole lot of a response for it.
Yep. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I would say, is that if they could get vision early, knowing that Dusty is likely going to do the same thing again, I would not put it against them to try to execute the same game plan and take out the enemy jungler early. So I would ask your mid lane or whoever that isn't as afraid of getting ganked early, like if they can pick for it, that they drop a ward down just to help with the counter invade, so at least they have some knowledge on, hey, somebody's coming here. I'm kind of sacrificing my vulnerability, but we deem that, helping our jungler out early, getting such a critical buff stolen early was not really a good thing, especially that Trundle ended up kind of dictating a good bit of the game.
Yeah, and Amumu did the right thing too, right? To his credit, when he saw he was getting invaded, he said, all right, well, I can't just not clear jungle. I'm going to go cross map and try and clear his jungle.
Yep.
But unfortunately, with the way timings worked out for clear times, the Trundle's Gromp was not up when Amumu got there. And because he saw that the Gromp wasn't up, he assumed that the Wolves wouldn't be up, even though Trundle didn't clear Wolves. So it was a lot of like, it was intelligent play, right? It was like, it was thinking out, I'm getting counter jungled. That means most of their bot side map should be empty. I need to go there so I can get gold. Oh, it's empty. That means it's probably all empty, because normally you go blue, then Gromp, then Wolves.
Yeah, and especially that you don't know exactly where that jungler is. You don't know if they ran straight to your buff after clearing 2 camps, cleared it and left. You don't know where they're at. So you sticking around to come to their wolves could have meant they got your buff, they already back, they have a phage or something, and they're coming after you now, and you're deep in their jungle, level like 3-4. Like, that is real dangerous, especially against a Trundle who's like, good in the 1v1s. I do think it was good play. So we will see how game 2 goes, though. I think there was a lot to take away from game 1. Like, a whole lot. A lot happened. A lot of good back and forth. Very close from both sides. Crazy vision fights. I love them.
Fighting for vision 2 minutes in advance of an objective. I'm all about it. That's how I play my games. To my detriment sometimes, but hey, they understood vision is king.
Yep. I'm hoping that in this game that they start figuring out from the Knights what they gotta do to take any sort of capitalization they have and really start to compound on it, because the NA Rams seem like they're pretty good at it. And I know the Knights have some good players on them. And I shouldn't say some. They have a lot of good players. Like, I couldn't say, like, at all in good faith saying that any player on their team's bad. So they just need to start figuring out this game where they can maybe have one small mistake turn into a positive, because NA Rams seemed like when they did make a small mistake, it didn't phase them too much. Like they seemed like they got the slight advantage there, and just over time it ended the game.
Yeah, the ability to capitalize just wasn't quite there. And I think it goes back to the conversation we were having a few minutes ago about how, like, if you win a scrap, but you're not healthy enough to be able to follow up and get something afterwards, it's a really tough position to be in, because you are happy you won the scrap, but then you lose the objective, and that can hurt your mental too.
Yep. But knowing the Knights, I would say that their mental is probably pretty good right now. I'd say both teams are in probably a pretty good state. So, I'm not too worried about mental from either team, because it was such a close game for so long that even if you lose, it's like, whatever, we'll get them next time. Not we felt beat down from minute one.
Yeah, both teams played really, really well, and the gold was like darn near identical for most of the game.
Yep. Very good showing from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we are going to be moving into pick ban here soon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. I would jump into spectator, but there's no room.
Uh-oh. Reggie. There it is. Now you're good. All right.
I've made it. I'm out.
Nice and easy.
Now I can take my hands off the keyboard and just wait for the sweet countdowns of pick ban to start rolling out.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited to see how pick ban changes, because hardly any other team that, like, I don't know of a single team that will ban the same thing every single game. So I think one of the big bans that I know for sure is going to change is, I don't think Nasus or Thresh will get banned this time. Maybe they get picked, but I don't think they get banned. I think both teams are probably more concerned with other picks.
I think you're right there. I think they would get rid of the Ezreal before they'd ban the Nasus, and I think the NA Rams would get rid of the Mordekaiser before they get rid of the Thresh this time.
Yep. Especially with the Knights having Doc sub in on their team playing top. Nasus is one of Doc's favorite champs. Maybe not favorite, but he's proficient on it and does well.
Yeah,
so
it's one of the regulars, and you don't need to ban yourself out, especially because they're going to be on red side this game, so they're going to get last pick.
Yep. And it wouldn't be too far-fetched for the Knights to think, hey, this Quinn wasn't that big of a deal early, but it was just one game. So, they might go and say, whatever, we'll leave Quinn up, put Nasus in there, and hope that Nasus can kind of survive it if they choose to go with the Nasus and Quinn matchup again.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I just wouldn't like the matchup myself. Playing into range top laners makes me an unhappy boy every time.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. That, especially with top lane being such the island that it is, it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, there weren't that many top lane ganks this game. Most of the ganks that happened seem to happen around mid lane. And for every mid lane gank there was maybe like one or two like fights in the jungle, like up to that minute.
Yep.
Because there was just so much happening in the jungle that game.
Yeah, but we'll see. Every game's a different game. Half the game's dictated in the picks with who gets what. So hopefully both teams kind of learned a little more about each other because they already kind of know each other's favorites. So, and it looks like we're going to start draft here real soon, which is exciting.
It's happening. The timer is going. It's NA Rams pick.
Let's go.
Or NA Rams ban. Yep. And no surprise, it's the crab.
Yep.
Yeah. It is actually pretty typical for a winning team to do the same 3 first bans. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that again.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Trundle gets banned right away. Never mind. I was going to say the contrary to that, but very good ban. And then Syndra's gone now. No surprise. Don't want to give that to Yogurt. Akshan likely coming out as a ban. Yep. So no real surprises. Just I was half expecting both teams to kind of pick the same 3.
The Vayne.
Quinstone.
Didn't expect that one.
Quinstone top. Or bot. Vigar ban. That's an interesting
Is that a mistake?
one.
Is that a mistake? Don't they play Vigar? Isn't that like...
Yogurt just played it.
Yeah.
On the Knights.
Isn't that like one of their favorite ones to play?
On bench the Gensh. Let's go. I'm hype. I want to see it. I know it's annoying to play against, but I like seeing somebody get licked. Winky face. But I'm excited to see what they play top into this because I don't know how the Quinn matchup goes, but before Tom Kench got reworked, I know that was really annoying. Oh, Nasus. Yeah, like that's a big pick for Doc. Like Tom Kench might win early, but Nasus is gonna face roll Tom Kench late game. Like no hope. Yeah, we're just waiting to see what the Knights pick next. Hopefully something good. I would say probably towards the bot lane. And then I imagine NA Rams probably picks jungle here, unless they're thinking RIPDusty up.
All right. So yeah, you were correct in your synopsis. Tom Kench does have a significantly better laning phase, but Nasus will scale up early and does have a slightly higher win rate overall in solo duo.
Yeah, and that's kind of not surprising because Tom Kench, after getting tanky, you can't send him at Nasus because by that point, Nasus is like, well, I'm tanky, but I also do 500 damage on an auto. Well, it looks like Rammus picked up. Not sure if that was an accidental pick or something's going on with that. I think it was
Rammus?
okay.
I love Rammus. What are you talking about?
The timer did hit 1 second before I saw Rammus selected. Not locked in, but selected.
Well, I don't see anything else popping up in any of the other chats, so I think it's fine. No one's correcting it, so I think it's good. Yeah. I like it too.
Mm-hmm.
And with Malzahar being like the only real magic damage on NA Rams, like I don't think they're going to go a magic damage bot laner. And the ADC, I don't think they play like Brander Zyra. So like I don't think Ari does. So that could be a pretty big deal. Like the option to just build more armor is going to be pretty real on the Rammus.
Yep. The only thing that's unfortunate for the Rammus is that being picked so early and RIPDusty's champ pool having Olaf, you don't want to accidentally taunt the Olaf because Olaf's just going to go R and I'm running at your team.
Sure. But I don't think you care too much about that as the Rammus, right? Like you weren't looking to CC him. You're just looking to press W, be tanky, and then just have him kill himself while he's like auto attacking you. Because he's going to take more damage than you are.
Yep. The big thing is though, just like the picking order. Like if there was somebody else that RIPDusty could have played, that would have been big. But either way, got the Malzahar coming out for NA Rams. Got Ashe. Kind of staple picks for both teams. You know, luci been playing a lot of Malzahar. Ashe, one of Quinstone's favorites, played last game. And no surprise, Ezreal and Twitch taken away from NA Rams. Don't want to see that Ezreal again. I like seeing it, but they don't. But, Orianna, Kale taken away from Yogurt on floor. And no surprise, Yogurt's maybe going to pick Vex.
Yogurt can't. Vex is not allowed until 2 weeks after they come out. So
what is that? A week from now?
Diana.
Diana.
I actually don't know about the Diana Malzahar matchup. I mean, I like the Diana pick. I always like the Diana pick. Some big AoE magic damage. I'm all about it. But I'm curious how it works in lane.
And no surprise, Jhin picked up, Morgana picked up by Aerie. So that lane's going to be real fun for the enemy bot lane. You get hit by a binding, you're stuck there for 3 seconds. At the minimum. Because you're just going to get hit with a W, and then probably an auto Q from Jhin, and then they're running away.
Now let's see what rounds out the team here. What support are we taking? Yuumi? I guess it is Elemental Lux, so it makes sense. And if you put a Yuumi on a Nasus, that's a problem.
Well, and even Yuumi on Diana, you get Yuumi on Diana, Diana runs at them, Yuumi presses R in their direction, gets them to the point where they get rooted. Diana just goes, "You're all in the center now."
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. And into a Jhin Morgana lane, your only real worry is getting hit by a binding from Morgana.
Yep.
Right? You're not going to get blown up, really. Not unless you get caught. And there isn't a whole lot your support can usually do to prevent that anyways, aside from having, the ability to go in and do equal damage. But, yeah, Yuumi, respectable pick here. I like it.
Yep. And even though there's not really a true hyper carry like Yi, someone like that, where they can just go in, do a bunch of damage, and just mow through your team, I like Yuumi. Yuumi's I think, low skill floor, but incredibly high skill ceiling. I think people underestimate the amount that you can manipulate going in and out of friendly champs and manipulating the wave. People just go, I sit on this character now and don't do anything, when there's a lot more to be done in lane.
People fear what they cannot understand.
So, I'm interested.
What I'd be wary of is Yuumi players more often than not have a much lower vision score than other support players. And a lot of that is because you're as much as other supports can get caught out, you get caught out so much worse if you go to get vision on your own. And so much of the time you want to be sitting on your ADC or on some other carry, so you don't want to get off of them to go ward. Especially if you build Yuumi like me and you just don't even go for boots.
I mean, you don't need them, I guess.
Why do you need them? You don't. Yeah. You're not walking around. Somebody else is walking around. You don't need boots.
Yeah. You need the item that lets you carry more pink wards. That's what you want. Whatever lets you carry more vision, that's what you're going for. But yeah, I'm actually thinking this game's going to be a pretty good one as well. I don't really see any really big weak links from either side. I think the mid lane matchup's going to be a bit more spicy, though, because Diana's kind of the run-in, smack 'em. Uh-oh. Hopefully there's a reconnect there.
Yeah, Diana does have a favorable laning phase into Malzahar, but Malzahar tends to have a pretty good comeback ratio. As he scales into the late game and can just press the R button.
Yeah, Diana, you went in, but you don't get the move now. So, which, considering the team comp on the side of NA Rams, Malzahar into Tom Kench, into Jhin, into Morg, you better not be walking around by yourself on the side of the Knights. And I think they know that, but it is scary.
I hope they know that. And I hope Yuumi knows that. Because that could be a lot of dead cats. And I know she's got 9 lives, but you could be dying a whole lot more than that if you're going for vision into this team.
Yep. But I would say the same thing goes for the other team. Because you got Ashault, Diana goes in, Ram is taunt. Like, there's a lot of go buttons on both sides of the coin. Like, I'm hoping that this will be a very entertaining game given the amount of pick potential on both sides, and based off the vision game from last game, it seems like it's going to be like that. So
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting one to watch.
Yep.
I'm interested here to see which summons everyone picks, because I think the Doctor here goes TP Ghost.
I think that's the play.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that's common. I don't know if it's the best option, but I do know it's common.
That's what I would imagine is probably doing that. I don't think Flash is going to help you too much. Actually, I don't know, because I have not been able to actually play Tom Kench myself since he got reworked, and I used to play him every once in a while. And I don't know how fighting against him, if Flash is going to be that useful against TK, or if Ghost is going to be, because before TK was all about slowing you up, not letting you move, kind of just taking you away. So if you could Flash, that's going to be more useful than Ghost. But, as kits change, the dynamic of matchups change a lot, even if it's a small little rework on one ability.
Yeah. And there aren't that many slows on the NA Rams, right? So like Tom Kench Lick is a slow.
Yep.
Olaf Q is a slow. Malzahar is a silence, but I do not believe it slows. Or unless I'm remembering wrong. I guess Jin's got a slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flash could be good just to get on someone, but for this type of fight, I think I think Nasus is a good pick.
Yep.
I like it.
100%.
Their ability to just kite away from you is not as good as, say, like an Ashe Lux.
Yep. Well, and even just somebody in the mid lane that their ult isn't their reliable CC, because that's the whole thing in Nasus is you need like reliable CC to kind of give you space to breathe against him. So we'll see how it goes with picks around the mid game, because I think that's really where, like last game, it's gonna really hang in the midst of who comes out on top, because I think both teams early game kind of got it nailed down with what their game plans are and how to adjust based off the other team. But we'll see. Quinstone's back on Ashe, comfort pick. Doc's on comfort pick. RIPDusty's on a comfort pick. Lucy's on a comfort pick. Urchin Merchant's on a comfort pick. Ares on a comfort pick. Like, there's a lot of... And Lux is obviously on a comfort pick. So there's a lot of people here with champs they're real familiar with, and at least have played quite a few games this season alone on them. So it's definitely going to be a battle of not just who knows the champs and the matchups better, but who's going to be able to communicate and play off of each other on their team.
Yeah, the communication is going to be key, and so the rotations. I think Olaf is going to be wanting to invade quite a bit, because that's what he likes to do. Yeah,
Worked
Ghost
out last
TP on the Nasus, and then Ghost Smite on Olaf as well. That's a good pick. I like it. Just get into that back line, get some kills. Provided he can get ahead early, that is great. Otherwise, you're just hinting faster. Ooh, both teams looking to invade. Very interesting.
I like it.
Now, this path for blue side is actually not a very good invade path, because it's so easy to get vision on you, right? So this is like a reverse tri-bush invade, where you would normally hug this wall, cross over, and then walk up into... Yeah, see, they just see you so early. It really only works in one direction, going from red side to blue side. You can do the same thing top side, which is what I would have expected them to do since Doc doesn't have flash. Fortunately, the Doctor has learned. He's been trained well in the ways of the top lane invades, and he knows that if he stands in that tri-bush, he is susceptible to that type of gank.
Yep.
Or that type of invade. But, so that's what you do. You stand out in front of the tri-bush, and it stops you from getting invaded there, because you can see them coming. Just like if you're going to 5-point on red side, you stand near the bottom there, you sit out in front, and then you see him coming a mile away.
Yeah, and it's much more important that you give away the fact that you're not invading and versus risking getting 5-mans because you're, you know, too greedy to give away a little bit of information. Yeah, it looks like standard starts here. Nothing crazy. Olaf, classic, trying to get a little bit low, but smites early. Rammus having a little bit of trouble early clearing, but that's, you know, no surprise. Rammus doesn't have a whole lot of tools level 1 to clear. Diana getting a ward on blue early. This is really important. Lets the Rammus know, hey, this is the way the Olaf went. Gonna be able to help dictate that, you know, if you need help, there's potential for you to get countered in bot side, and they at least know that Olaf did start the same side.
Yeah, and the reason that ward is even necessary is because Urchin Merchant and Airy did not decide to pull the wave bot lane or set up for a bush tease. They instead sat around and waited to make it look like maybe Olaf was starting bot side.
Yep. And those little things, you know, you can make the other team burn some vision. Like, now, if you're RIPDusty and you saw the ward go down, that could be a gank on Diana from bot side, because you know that Diana's ward now. Oh, Diana goes in, gets a little bit of damage. It looks like Mal's has no mana now, but has a decent wave built up. Probably just going to clear the wave, should go back. It's going to push back into him now. Is ahead on CS, but it's going to even out. So, nothing too crazy going on besides Olaf getting a lot of CS.
Yeah, the Olaf does seem to have a much better clear on that first time through.
Yep.
Rammus does get first Scuttlebug, but then you see Olaf has also cleared 2 more camps. So, the gold is quite valuable, but Olaf should be able to go up top side, get the other Scuttle back, buy some items, and then look for a gank.
Yep, and looks like luci stayed. Not too much going on. Diana probably saw Olaf or was just out of range to see. But Diana's going to be able to kind of dictate the lane now because of the lack of mana on Malzahar. We'll see what happens with the mid lane here in probably 30 seconds. If Diana gets any good opportunities.
Yeah. Smart play by Misfortune bot topside, letting the Nasus push into them, which lets Olaf potentially gank here by Tribush. Okay. Vision does prevent the gank. Nasus is able to back up and be totally safe. He knows he's not getting ganked. And he can go back to laning. Spooky Rammus bot lane. That's going to be a dead Morgana for first blood going to the Rammus. Look at him go. One tanky boy.
Real good first blood. Especially that you just cleared your bot side. Olaf did leave through try. So they should know that Olaf is not invading. But this should be the cue for Olaf. Hey, I need to go clear camps before Rammus gets back.
Yep, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's starting at Rafters. We'll see if he goes for anywhere else. He may just back right after there because he does need to get some boots. Maybe his Phage.
Yep, big items to get. But there's a huge wave starting to build in top lane. This is kind of what you want as Tom Kench. You want to say, hey, buddy, I got your wave here. And I want to eat you.
Yeah.
And 6 is coming up here soon, too. Like, it's not that far away.
Yeah, and that's a hard wave for the Nasus. Yeah, he's trying to get his stacks. But here we go. Tom fighting him in a massive double wave. And Nasus still can't trade positively just because that shield is so big.
Yep. And the grass proc to end the fight, adding a little bit extra damage. But Rammus is here. Potentially going to come in, get the gank. They're both kind of low. Nope, Rammus decides to back out. A little bit of a failed gank, but, you know, got something done in bot lane. Can't be too upset about the ganks from Rammus at all.
Yeah, especially considering the wave state top lane. It's not an easy gank to make happen.
Yep. And here we go again. Tom Kench saying lickety.
Yep.
Going down.
Absolutely dominant laning phase. That is what the Elite Warrior does. I don't think he has a single losing matchup in lane. I'm not sure if that holds true for like a Vayne, but across all the standard top laners, you just don't have an easy lane into him.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of. Oh, good juke. Yeah, mainly it's just been, besides that little bot lane gank that turned successful, it's mainly just been a bunch of junglers poking their head out, unfortunately at the wrong time for them, and just a lot of back and forth trading in pretty much every lane. Oh, big stun. Tom Kench could get this. Flash
One
auto?
tongue.
Nope.
One tongue. One lick, one people.
Bot lane has been having a lot of pressure into the Ashe Yumi. They've been shoved up pretty much the entire time, making them a little gank susceptible. But they do have a decent bit of vision bot side.
Yep. And that vision and that prio is what's going to allow them to go for Dragon. Diana going top all but guarantees the Tom Kench to die, and he does. And that's gold on the Diana. She's a key piece of the Knight's comp. She is the AoE magic damage. You're not going to get a whole lot of other magic damage at all, and hers is AoE burst with some CC. Getting her fed that's one of the best things you can do. She is one of the most valuable champs on this team to get fed. I would even prioritize her like over the Ashe for this comp.
Oh, here it goes. Yep, this is exactly what's going to happen. Oh, and just probably, oh, good counter TP.
Uh-oh, time to get out.
This is big. Yeah, Mouse is going to ult. Yep. Canceled by the taunt. Very good taunt. Good to save it.
Good patience for Merchant. Decides to hold on to those shots until all the other champs get out of the way. Allows him to pick up the kill on the Ashe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and looks like both teams getting good TPs, making very good use of them. You know, not doing the TP surprise. Oh wait, you all left.
Abandoning your teammate. Yeah, none of that. None of that this game. It looks like their communication is great on both teams. Both teams have just had very successful TP ganks.
And 69 farm top lane, nice.
Nice.
And that's a big CS difference, unsurprisingly, because you know it's the dog into the toad. Toad just wins, even though dogs are usually bigger. It's just
that is 2 kills worth the CS lead.
Yep.
Again, Olaf having 1 kill worth CS lead compared to Rammus. Malzar being up farm mid as well, and then Merchant being up a little farm as well. All of this adds up to about a 1k gold lead in favor of the NA Rams, even though the Knights are up a kill.
Yep, and it looks like bot and top are having some kerfuffles going on. Ashe ult down. Looks like Nasus getting consumed. They got to pick somebody to go against. Uh-oh. It looks like Nasus is being the sacrificial lamb at this time. Rammus can't really do much to help. And it looks like Olaf gets the kill.
Yeah, unfortunately at the time, Rammus did not have ult, so that was not an option for him to contribute to the fight in that way. You hate to see it, but it does happen.
Yep. And granted, it, you know, if he wouldn't have used his ult before, he would have died. So, you know, it's just unfortunate timing that it was a couple seconds before it came up.
Yeah, and that's kind of a repeat of what we saw last game, though, as well, where jungler ends up needing to use ult in one situation, but then they don't have it on hand for the following objective. That's a good job from the NA Rams exploiting that cooldown.
Yep. Well, here's Tom Kench saying, I have a lot of gray health. Ult coming out from Jhin. Good job on the Yuumi to split the damage between the Ashe and the Yuumi there. Very good play. Because you don't want to let Ashe just die because you're not participating.
Yeah, and your health bar isn't even that useful to you as Yuumi, because if your teammate dies, you're going to die anyways.
Correct.
So you may as well just take some of those Jhin ults for the Ashe, body block it, and then hop back on board. You'll heal back up just fine.
What I'm honestly surprised about is how little skirmishes have happened around the mid lane. There hasn't been a whole lot.
Yeah, aside from a few small trades back and forth, it has been relatively uneventful. Honestly, not that surprising. We could possibly see it here mid with Diana having full kit and ult, but you have to remember Malzahar also has ult. Neither of them have like full vision of where the enemy jungler is. Yep. So you don't really want to commit to that kind of a fight when you know the enemy jungler could just zip right in and make the difference.
Yeah. And well, it looks like there was some. Oh, it looks like Olaf's just gonna push the wave out. You know. Oh, alleviate some pressure.
3 mid.
Diana. Yep,
that's a dead Diana.
Sorry. You're gone. Feels bad. And then Tom's gonna likely get a kill here. Get the tongue out. Yep. Gonna get the consume maybe. Nope. Cancels 2 autos.
Oh,
that feels
under
real
tower.
bad. That feels real bad to cancel 2 autos. But, you know, on the side of NA Rams, it looks like that kill in the mid lane is gonna help you secure the Drake. That's the big objective right now, is start getting Drake stacked up. This will be your second one at 13 minutes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, 2 Drakes at 13 is a good time, and then again we can see quite a bit of vision coming out from the NA Rams. Yuumi Ashe just came down to sprinkle a little more vision on the map, but unfortunately it is too little too late as the dragon is gone.
Oh, and Milk getting a really good gank here, I think. Gonna be able to tank some of the damage and have Nasus maybe come in at the last second. Nope.
Maybe. Nasus is over here and he realizes, hey, you know, maybe we get that kill, maybe we don't. This cannon minion, though, is worth a third of a kill, just about.
And look at
So,
Tom Kench's HP.
guaranteed.
It's like he didn't even fight.
Exactly.
But yeah, everybody kind of just reset recently after the Drake, both sides. Even with just one death going down, everybody kind of backed up. Bought items. QSS on Diana already. Good item to pick up, but it does delay your power spike.
It may be a necessary delay here, though, into the Malzahar.
Uh-oh. Toad and Olaf coming in. Oh, but Milk coming in to maybe... Nope. Can't really do much.
Good damage.
Good kill
Diana
from them.
coming in, cleaning up the Olaf. Do they get the Tom Kench, or is he out? He's going to have to pop his gray health bar to get the full shield, and that means he is going to die. There's no surviving it now. Uh-oh, Nasus, don't take too much damage there, buddy.
Yep, and that was really good. And Diana's going to get back to get some of the CS in mid.
Oh, now's a good time for the Ashe to go in, actually. Yep, after those cooldowns are down, it's time to commit. Ashe does not have ult, but that is a lot of damage down onto the Jhin. May just die to minions. Ooh,
yep.
Boom. Nice volley.
Really good. Yep. Really good play out of bot lane there from the side of the Knights.
Yeah, and that's how bot lane plays. As soon as you see that your enemy laners have blown some cooldowns, especially like the critical ones like the root from Morgana, you just go in, you fight, because their cooldowns are long enough that you can get off all the damage in the world.
Yep. Your go button is their stop button.
Exactly.
Now, it looks like if Quinstone's not too careful, never mind. Yuumi heals. Proving me wrong. I was going to say Quinstone's not too careful. Quinstone's going to get poked out a little prematurely. And going to lose some CS here because Morg and Jhin probably should know that they're going to back and should just shove in the wave really hard right now. Just get it to bounce.
Yeah, that may be easier said than done. If they try and shove this lane to bounce it, the Ashe Yuumi will get there in time. Diana going in with all mid, lots of damage coming out, blowing all, is going to get the kill.
SR, mouse, all the
Gasp.
Oh, QSS. That is such a good QSS. No.
Oh, did they both die?
Yeah,
1 for 1. Space Aids carrying through. Great ult under tower. The QSS reaction time. If maybe it were just a hair faster, would have decreased number of tower shots taken by 1, which would have been enough to live. But that would have needed to be like frame perfect.
Yeah, and we're playing online, not playing LAN, so
Yeah, it's not
a
like
little bit of lag is actually like really good reaction time.
Yeah.
But yeah, very wise. Ashe getting the kill there. Decides, you know what? Time to push in mid. Let's put Mouse in a side lane. Or not Mouse, Diana. My bad. Let's put Diana. But, I don't know. Maybe they're going to continue with it. Yep, it looks like Diana's just going to go mid now.
Yeah. Blue side does have superior vision going into this upcoming dragon fight. It really is on the red team to start getting at least a ward out by dragon so you can see when it's going to get low. Diana ult just came up right now, which means it will be up for the dragon fight in 30 seconds.
Which Olaf Ragnarok is down now. And that's a big ult to be down around the Drake. And it might come back up right as the kerfuffle starts happening. But still, not having it right now and needing Olaf to back is a big deal.
Yeah, he's not going to have it for the fight. Dragon's up in 3 seconds. An interesting thing here could be top lane. All right, Nasus is stepping all the way back to tower. He is looking for this teleport. He's waiting for it. That's why he's all the way back under tower right now. Yep. There's the TP. He's coming in. Tahm Kench not able to stop it. Tahm Kench did not stop it because he was too far back. That's going to be a big Nasus ult. They're going to tower dive, looking for some kills. Morgana's going to fall as... Morgana doesn't fall. Olaf does. So does the Nasus. Tower shots are too big. It's a disaster.
Huge Jhin Gale Force there. That was huge. That is almost a quadra. Almost.
Yeah. Tons of damage coming out. I think the crucial mistake there was entering the tower range. If they had just taken their kill they had and then walked it over to Dragon, they'd have had it. But instead, they're going to go negative in kills, lose the Dragon, and get some damage onto their top tower. So, good play by the NA Rams. It actually is interesting that the Tahm Kench didn't TP down. He just decided to keep pushing in even though TP was up. Ultimately, it was the right choice, but that was a lot of trust.
Yep, and unfortunately for the Knights right now, you're not killing Tahm Kench easily. Like, I think you have to burn sums here.
Yep, I think we saw a flash, an exhaust. I mean, you may as well not even auto while the white shield's up. It's so big, it's just going to clock out. Yep, there's the kill. Now, can we get the Olaf? Diana is so low, but she is going to be able to catch up. No, and he gets away.
Oh, hello.
So close.
2 junglers getting chased from, different teams. Drive right by each other, like, see you later.
Yep. Nasus is able to probably get this bot lane tower here, so good for him. No, Malzahar's going to TP bot. They could have sacrificed bot tower in favor of going for Baron, but decided not to. Tahm Kench is going to be up in 4 seconds and has TP, so he could end up really anywhere they wanted to if they did want to go for a fight.
Yep. I do think
the vision priority is going in favor of the NA Rams. It's just not safe for that Yumi to go out and start warding on her own. She'll just get snatched up very quickly.
Yep. And I do think going for Baron right when it spawns, unless you're ridiculously far ahead and you just got kills, is kind of asking for a Dignitas. So...
Well, you don't necessarily need to go for it. You just need to threaten it, right? You keep the enemy team around so that they can't match you while you're doing other things.
Yeah. And that's the thing now. It becomes the, well, if we know that you're just trying to do that to, like, make us think you're potentially going to do Baron, we're just going to ignore you and get stuff for it and send, like, 3 people at you and just poke you.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what the Malzahar is for, right? Like, he has the ult so that if you do decide to do that, you're going to lose that in a 4v3 or in a 3v4.
And the big thing too is, like, Baron hurts real early. Like he kind of smashes you before like 25-30 minutes in the game because you don't really have the levels yet for you to have all the additional armor and MR and the extra damage.
Yeah, the Morg, Malzahar, and Olaf do a nice chunk to it. So it wouldn't be a fast take, but they could definitely do it. They just need to have the vision and keep ults up.
Yep. Oh yes, there it is. Pulled the trigger. Very good. Unfortunately, too far away. Big fight coming out. Olaf getting potentially out of here just by pressing the R key. They should have turned. Nope. Olaf might win this fight. Nope, does not. Does not. But that means you got your jungler down. Oh. Looks like Jinnar comes out. Not the best angle because they all just back out of there. Tahm Kench tries to get in a good flank. Can't really do much and everybody just kind of fizzles. Walks their own way. They get a kill. Except now it looks like... Nope. Maybe not. They're not going mid. I don't know. Oh, they're going to catch out Ash here 100%. Nope. Rammus goes in.
Be Rammus instead.
The sacrifice.
And they're just so low. Jhin, so much damage. He's so fast.
Yep. He's big.
Yeah.
Same thing last game.
Yeah. He is a nice and fed boy. 5-1 with 181 farm. He is very wealthy. 9,500 gold on him right now makes him the wealthiest individual on the map by far. Not even close.
Yep. And he's sitting on 1,400-ish right now whenever he backs. So he's going to get close to finishing an item here real soon. Picks up a BF sword, the best friend sword. So Jhin is going to put out even more damage now, getting some more kills. Mao's getting the blue taken here. That's really good, getting that blue, especially on Mao's. Start spamming spells on whatever lane you're in, just push waves out the whole time, create a bunch of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like everyone except for Ashe is going to have ults for this Dragon team fight. The Tahm almost gets caught.
Jhin getting consumed. Such a good consume saving Jhin there, because that was almost certain death for Jhin. Oh, you gotta kill Jhin. You have to kill Jhin. You can't try to just kill Tahm Kench there. He's so healthy. Nass is getting in the back line, showing him what the cane's like. Although, I don't think... Yep, the ult's out now. You're in a bad spot. Uh-oh. I think Ashe dies. Yep. Ashe is just going to get tickled down now, and that's an ace for one player.
Wow. Tahm Kench got so low there, sub 100 health, but they just could not seal the deal on it. Now he's going to TP top, walking away as healthy as he was when he entered the fight, and he's looking to take out tier 2 top tower with Infernal Soul. That is absolutely massive for Jhin. He's going to be popping almost everyone on the Knights, with the exception of Rammus, who, let's be honest, is just going to get melted by Malzahar.
And it looks like Oh, yeah, I think this is round 2 again, where TK doesn't really need to do too much, but yep, walk away. Burns flash for it, more of a safety net than anything, but it's better to not risk it and, you know, not have 4 of their members come around the corner where Rammus just walked from and die. Looks like Baron's being prepped now a little bit, or at least people are looking around at big red buff fight starting. And gets smited away. That's smite down on Rammus. They're not going to know that, but
they should know. They would have seen that smite.
Well, they don't know that because of 2 charges, whether or not that was the final smite out of the 2. But that's still a big cooldown to drop, especially how they were kind of posturing, and the fact that they don't have real vision around Baron.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. But both TPs are down on the NA Rams, and both TPs are up for the Knights, which means there is the opportunity for some interesting macro play. But before they do that, they need to protect their mid lane tower. They need to protect Inhib. If that cracks, Baron will shortly follow.
Yep.
You shall transcend.
I would think maybe even at this rate, if they were paying a little bit more attention, they could have maybe collapsed on Rammus here. Because he was showing on the map.
He's just so fast is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So like, as soon as somebody says, hey, they're missing, they're coming after you, Rammus, he presses the Q button, he rolls away, he's gone before you get even anywhere close enough. Before you even show up on the screen.
True. Just one of those things that's better in this stage, I think, to risk getting the pick and then just coming back to the wave anyways in mid, because they're just playing ping pong with the wave right now, not really pushing the advantage that they have. Oh, Diana goes in. Great combo on the ults. Goes into Sonya. They're gonna potentially pick out Area 95 here. Watch out for Tom Kench. Nasus goes, gets big, and Tom Kench is gonna run at Ashe. Like, what do you do here as the ADC? Like, Nasus comes back to help. Everybody gives up. Jhin is fighting off with Olaf, gets the Rammus down, but it takes 4 people to kill the Tom Kench, who, mind you, is 1 in 4. Like,
yep. And the Jhin, oh my god.
Good night.
Speaking of Jhin, yeah, I was about to say that the Jhin ult was up at the time of that fight. He could have used that, and it probably would have turned the tides of that 1v4. Just that little bit of damage would have been enough to make the Tom Kench maybe be able to get out positive.
Yeah, Diana's getting their ult back up soon, 3/4 of the way. Jhin isn't too careful here in positioning. I think that's like Diana's #1 goal is do whatever you can to kill Jhin and just stop the damage from him, because pretty sure he's most of the damage.
Target. Yeah, there's too much going in on the misfortune, or on the Tom Kench and the Olaf. Need to be going in on Urchin. Gotta kill that Jhin. He is so much of the damage, and with Diana's like how far she is into her build right now, easy pop. Like no chance that he lives.
And Soul does go over to NA Rams. There's going to be a lot of additional damage coming out on a team that already does a lot of damage. Would have been worse, though, is having Mountain Soul. Oh, looks like Rammus is going to
goodbye,
get
Rammus,
out.
and that's going to be Baron. Not a chance in the world they fight this one now without the jungler. So that'll be Baron, and the 1-4 split will begin. The Tom Kench is up. Honestly, he doesn't even need to be here for the fight. He can just TP bot side, which he may do right after this Baron, and then they're just going to start splitting it.
Oh, no. Unfortunate. Yuumi gets off. Ashe is going to be consumed, killed. Yep. And they're just wrapping them up one by one.
What a great look. What great picks there. Oh, Diana, get out of there. You don't want this. He's just too powerful.
Oh, juke him.
He's just so tanky.
Yeah.
And he does so much damage considering he is building full tank.
Yep, and gets a lot of HP back. Luckily, though, Ash does have Crack and Bork, but there's just not enough peel that can be had for their team to really push off Tahm Kench enough to get Ash to do that damage.
Yeah. For a moment there, it looked like the NA Rams might just walk it in and end the game, but it seems like maybe they want to get Elder Dragon first and then walk it in.
Yep. Yeah, they're pinging it, or at least Quinstone's pinging it, letting everybody know, hey, this is the Drake. But I don't see any vision coming out that would alert them.
None at all. That's
And
the
that's
pick.
Nasus
That's the
dead.
dead Nasus. For the last most critical team fight of the game.
Diana's turn now to get Jhin, potentially. Nope. Has to help
Nobody's
Olaf.
going for the Jhin, but the Diana Q and ult is up. Just doesn't get the chance to use it.
Nope. Unfortunate.
Tragic. Diana just waiting for the right opportunity to use ult, but the chance never really comes. Dying with it still off cooldown, and that is going to be the end of the game.
Yep. Very well played both games by both teams. Just seemed like Urchin Merchant, once he got rolling, seems like he was just kind of dictating the pace of the game for a lot of it, that wherever he went, there were kills.
Yeah, he had great positioning, and no one was able to get on him. So that was that. You have a fed, high damage ADC who no one's able to touch.
Mm-hmm.
That puts the team fight, every single team fight, on a very short clock.
Yep, and jeez, Tahm Kench, second most damage in game, mind you, second most.
Yep. It looks like we're going to start to be joined by some of the team members from both teams.
Yep.
If some representatives would show up, we would appreciate it very, very much. Some exciting games to watch. NA Rams walking away still undefeated, I believe. Is that right? Undefeated still? The team to beat.
Yeah. I mean, both teams, very strong appearance today. Would not be upset if I was on either team. First game, nail biter. The whole game. Second game, a little bit less so, but still very good, very competitive. Not a whole lot of one-way streets until the end of the second game.
Yeah.
So, very good.
Yep. I guess we get into questions now.
Mm-hmm.
Great games, everyone. Thanks for coming over to join us for some Q&A. As is usual, we'll start with some questions regarding pick ban. Instead of going broad, I want to get a little specific here with regards to the picks and bans. I want to know from the Knights why you ban Nasus in game 1.
Right. So we know SweetSmellofSucc plays Nasus, and obviously having like a guy who infinitely scales on their team would be not bueno. And honestly, Mordekaiser does really well into the rest of SweetSmellofSucc's champ pool. And even if he plays Quinn, because I think Mordekaiser Quinn's actually actually not a bad matchup for Mordekaiser at all. It's not like a Garen or Darius. Like Mordekaiser has better ways to deal with poke lanes. So we were just like, okay, so Nasus, we don't want him on it, and so we would force him on, any other pick that, would be easier into Mordekaiser.
All right, yep, that makes sense. And then from the NA Rams, talk to me a little bit about the Quinn pick here and the Echo pick.
The Echo pick, I think it was just a comfort pick for me. As far as like playing against, I definitely saw the Vygar mid, so I definitely wanted to be of use. As far as AP wise. So, and then like I said, it was just a comfort pick for me. So.
Okay, there you go. It ended up working really well for you. I don't think anyone would disagree there. And then how about this Quinn? I was a little surprised to see it.
The Quinn was kind of a let me look here, game 1. The Quinn was kind of a counter to the Mords. Sweet, if you want to talk more on it, or if not, he wanted to play it against the Mordekaiser, and then I kind of said, I mean, it was after the pick, but I kind of said after the pick, we really got to play around vision with the Quinn, me and Echo like splitting, and then just kind of go for a 1-3-1. But I'll let Sweet talk if he wants to about the Quinn, specifically in the Mord.
I don't have too many things that I've played well into Mord, or that I know play well into Mord. So I knew that I'm comfortable on Quinn, and I can just sit back and poke and try to just scope out how the lane's gonna go, and then be of use later game if need be.
Okay, that makes plenty of sense to me. You were definitely a mobile force of damage that had high impact, and good call out with the vision too there, RIPDusty. I saw multiple points in the game. You guys had 5 pink wards on the map, which means every single member of your team had a pink ward. Great job. You yourself actually had 15 pink wards purchased that game, which that's no small chunk of change. That's
I
quite
want
a
to
bit
talk
there.
about the fighting over that one bush near Dragon Pit. It's just like, okay, I got 2 pinks and a normal, and you cleared all 3 of them. It's like, there's no way.
the Great Vision Wars.
The one on the back is Red Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, God, just leave it alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, that bush is kind of pivotal to fighting in the little checkpoint there. So.
Yeah. And it proved to be very worth it to take that fight for the vision control, because you were able to command the team fight following to get Dragon quite handily. So great jobs there. Moving into pick ban for game 2. The change up from NA Rams, not banning the Tahm Kench, but taking it. Tell me, have you practiced the Tahm Kench pick, or is this something you picked up just to kind of take it away and give it a shot?
I'm just going to let Sweet talk about that since he played it.
Prior weeks, I've played Tahm Kench against Doc himself, and I've always liked Tom. And then since he's in a good spot, it's just a comfort pick that even if they have the advantage in the lane, I know that I can be useful and utilize my whole ult to save teammates later on and team fights to really make a change.
Yeah, it did come in real nice. There was one fight that happened around red side try later in the game where Jin was all but dead, and a very good consume from you saved Jin and really turned the fight into a 1-for-4 instead of being a 2-for-2 or 2-for-3. So it did come out, and you were incredibly tanky. By the end of the game, it was like you could take whatever punishment, and then you're back up to 3/4 HP. So very good showing. And with that, how was that Nasus pick? Because I know that is one of your favorites, Doc. Like you're a mean
He's
Nasus player.
not in the call.
He is not on the call. Nice.
But we were just thinking, it's like, okay, we're gonna need some split push threat, right? And and unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. Like, obviously, TK wins pretty much every single lane, in just how it goes. But like, the weakness is, like, he's not the greatest team fighter, right? And he's very low mobility, right? But so we're just like, okay, Matt, he's gonna get stacked, he's gonna get big, put some pressure there top. But it just turns out, like, the time it took us to kill TK, they would get like a whole nother objective. So so Nasus was our answer, but not good enough.
Yeah, and some games, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Not every game goes out in everybody's favor. So, but both teams played very well, and once again, I want to bring up Vision because I think it was pivotal in both games. Both teams had lots of Vision, and were fighting over Vision pretty much the entire time around objectives. And I want to commend both teams on being very good at setting up Vision, buying pinks, making sure that, there's multiple picks around just one pink ward or one Vision ward. Just very good play. And I want to ask both teams, starting with the NA Rams, was this something that was talked about throughout the entire game that we're going to try to dominate vision?
In the first game, especially because of the way our picks went, with them having a Mumu Vigar and Lux, especially with the amount of CC that can provide, I said we really want to play around the Quinn being able to move around with the speed, and then Echo being able to split push, and myself, us three especially. We want to play around vision and try and get deeper vision so that we can play more for single picks compared to an actual team fight. Because I don't think, I mean, they had a very good team comp in game one. I honestly don't think they got their team comp off enough or at all, maybe. To like, because they had a very good team fight comp, like we would have gotten destroyed. So that's why I kind of reiterated a few times to play around vision, and not so much in the second game, but I guess it might have just carried over in the second game to where we were fighting around vision a little bit more. So,
Yep. And for the Knights, there was a lot of Ash Vision, a lot of wards going down. I knew it had to be a part of your game plan, or at least if it wasn't vocally spoken, there was a lot of utility on your team. Was that something that you guys discussed throughout the game as well?
Before the game, I was literally yelling at my teammates, buy a pink every time you back. And, to put it down. And I think what really went wrong is we we trickled in head push into pick bushes, and they've killed one of us instead of us. So we didn't all stick together like death ball tightly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so they led us to pick one, then two, and then run over the rest of us. And then Ezreal just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, I think Ash is, kind of broken with so much utility and damage. Like, it's not like she sacrifices too much in damage, but I think I was using E's too flippantly instead of using them more at pivotal moments.
Yeah, and for both teams, I would say that's a good takeaway, is that even though, vision was a big part of the game, that there's still, small things that can be improved, and that, both teams are still kind of working together, figuring out what everybody's still good at and what little small things can be changed so that both teams come out better before the end of the season. Dustin, do you have anything in particular you would like to ask before we go to MVPs, or anybody in the chat that would like to ask something?
I think my last question was about the game 2 blue side invade from the NA Rams. Talk to me a little bit about the decision making on that invade pathing.
in game one, we decided a 5-point just because they had the better invade team. And then in game two, I mean, we got Morgana, Olaf, and TK. So I believe TK usually starts Q. I could be wrong. You can correct me, Sweet, if I am wrong. But Olaf also starts Q, so that's 2 slows, and then Morgana stun. So it's a pretty good invade into Nasus, who has nothing, Rimus, who may have a taunt, and then a slow from Ash, basically. So
my question wasn't so much about why to invade; it was more the particular invade pathing.
Yeah, I see. You're scouting for information. I don't know. We just figured that's the way of least vision. Could have went through mid. Could have went through dot brush. We just decided to go through try into banana.
Fair enough. If you care for my opinions, I'll give them after the stream. I think we can move on to MVPs. Let's, as is typical, start with. Well, let's go with ARAMs. Tell us your MVPs.
I mean, in the first game, I feel like I kind of got to give it to Doc. If he wasn't ulting me, he was helping to win the team fight for sure, or helping to win the scraps. I don't think we really 5v5 team fighted in the or 5v5 team fought. My English. I think we 5v5 team fought in that game very much, if at all. So when I wasn't there to counter R if he R'd me, he was definitely putting out some fat damage. And then in game 2, I'd probably have to give it to Yogurt on the Diana, as well as Quinstone on the Ashe. His vision with the hawk shots and the R's were very good. Sometimes the R's were slightly too late, but
I missed like 2 arrows that whole series. Ugh.
But the ones you hit were like right after the team fight was over, and it's like, oh well, if that would have hit,
Yeah.
But definitely have to give it to Yogurt the sub and Quinstone playing ADC for his team instead of top. So
Yeah, and how about the Knight?
I would have to give it
what do you
to Urchin Merchant. Turns out, he plays the team fights all really well, and yeah, just even couldn't touch him. I think we stayed relatively even. I think he had a slight CS lead both laning phases, but he really picked it up in those team fights.
Yeah, for real. That seesawing around the minion wave and laning phase in game 1.
Mm-hmm. Very good performance of all the players, especially the MVPs listed. Is there anything anybody would like to say? Anybody they'd like to shout out before we wrap things up?
Good games. Thanks to Alex for subbing for us top lane.
Yeah, thanks to Yogurt and DrMcWeenBean. Appreciate those guys.
Thanks for the subs on the other side as well, especially.
Shout out to Yogurt, big fan.
Woo, Yogurt, we love you, bro.
Shout out to everyone, big fans.
Big fans.
Not
of all
a
of
big
you.
fan of Elemental Ice. Not gonna lie. I'm just kidding.
Also,
Right.
thanks
Big
to,
fan of Dusty.
Good
thanks to the
games,
casters
guys.
as well for
Yep.
hopping in.
Big
for
fan
your
of
Yeah, thanks for
95.
casting. Thanks for casting, Mac and Dustin. Mac, I know
It
you're
was
not
an honor.
technically part of the league, but thanks for hopping in and casting.
You guys did great. Thank you so much. Well, thanks again, everybody, for
Area
the games
95, base fish.
and fantastic skin, by the way.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll wrap up for the night. So this is the last game for week 4. We're starting with week 5. I believe there's a match on Friday, tentatively, but we'll come out with the schedule for next week's games by tonight, and you'll probably see them by first thing tomorrow if you hop off early tonight. So thank you guys again for ongoing playing and interest in the league, and we'll hope to see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Sorry to interrupt real quick, but match will be Friday at 7:30.
Perfect. Next
Oh.
one is then.
Told me 6:30.
Yeah, it got changed.
7:30.
Should be good now. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
7:30 Friday.
See you
See you
guys
guys.
then.
Guess what?
2
I'm in
days.
that game.
Woo! What is that, 4 games this week?
Oh, no. No, I didn't play yesterday.
Okay. Very good. Alright, well with that, we'll wrap up for the night. Catch you guys next time.